And item 2 is the request from city staff to adopt resolution number 13506, authorizing the interim city attorney and his respective staff and designees to file a complaint for declaratory judgment against the state of Arizona to challenge the legality and constitutionality of Senate Bill 1543. And I note that we've received numerous requests to speak.
Madam Mayor.
Lots.
Madam Mayor, should we start with the pledge?
No, because it's not the regular meeting. Don't throw me off. You're trying to confuse me. All right, that was easy.
Apologies.
It worked. We've received a lot of requests for public comment, but I'm going to ask for your courtesy and holding that until after the next couple of minutes here. And you can decide if you still want to speak. So I'm going to make a motion to vacate this agenda item. And for the reasons that I personally still have lots of questions about this. And I'll entertain a second, if there's one.
Second.
And vacating this will do the equivalent of canceling this agenda item tonight. So all those in favor of the motion on the table?
I wanted to speak to the motion on the table. I was hitting my request to speak, but it's not working.
I'll call for the point of order to go ahead and vote on the motion.
Point of order. May I speak?
I'll call the question, excuse me. All those in favor, please indicate your vote.
Wait, hold on. Point of order. We're calling the question now?
I called the question. All those in favor?
Yeah, there's a point of order, Madam Mayor. Luis, where are we at on this?
Generally, there would be discussion would be authorized and allowed before the motion should be voted on. The council as a whole could vote to shut down discussion, but at this point, I think Councilman Graham would be entitled to speak.
Councilman Graham, let's not debate it. Go right ahead.
Thank you. So, Luis, so I have the floor?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we spent significant amount of time in executive session, had a good discussion, and now we are out here, and you came to hear from us, and there are many people streaming from home, watching this on TV, and we've got an overflow audience with people across the street in the overflow watching this on the television monitor across the street. I'm disappointed to say that there's a motion on the table right now to vacate, which means to withdraw or retreat from the motion that you came for us to vote on tonight. I support the motion tonight. I support it for several reasons. One of the most important reasons I support it is because it gives us leverage in moving forward with negotiations. There are so many reasons. We have gotten hundreds and hundreds of emails from residents begging us with every kind of argument to hear this item, to hear public speakers, and to vote in the affirmative to protect citizens' right to referendum. Fundamentally, a vote to vacate is a vote for 2,000 apartments, 1,900 apartments in North Scottsdale. There is no guarantee, there is no promise this is going to return to the council. This is an epically important item for this city council. I'm stunned right now and speechless that this is where we are. There are so many things that I wanted to share with you now, and I look forward to hearing from the public to give us public comment. I look forward to posing questions in a public open forum of city staff and our legal experts about strategy and what this means. We have, I would guess, hundreds if not thousands of residents watching this right now, wondering what is going to become of their constitutional rights and what is going to become of their city. Over 27,000 residents signed a referendum to put this on the ballot to give them a say about whether or not they want this apartment complex, which was passed in a lame duck session with 5 votes, 4 of which were not returning to the city council, their chance to have a say on it. Referendum is enshrined in our Constitution. It is a basic constitutional right that I agree with everybody who's emailing us that they have a right to exercise. And so I am stunned and I am shocked that we are vacating this motion or withdrawing it, and I see that as a vote for this apartment complex. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Quasman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think Councilman Graham is the greatest people's champion that this city has ever had. There are very, very few things when it comes to his values that I disagree with. I think it is incorrect, whole cloth, to say that adopting a specific strategy is the equivalent of supporting a gigantic apartment complex that many members on this this rostrum is against, and a bill that is against, that we are against. And I, as a litigator, as somebody who is a civil litigator, who boasts government notices of claim as one of their areas of practice, and government claims, I want to be very clear to those at home that the black or white story is not correct, and my deep respect toward Councilman Graham in this instance is a difference of strategy, not a difference of policy. And I want to make sure that with the amount of due deference that Councilman Graham deserves, I entirely disagree with his assessment on this, and that lawyering is complicated, lawyering is hard, and the right outcome will come from this council that listens to the people.
Thank you, Councilman Quasman. Appreciate that.
Okay, Mayor.
Councilwoman Whitehead.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just want to say that this is a vote to protect your tax dollars. This is a vote to make sure that this city government operates in a way that is not only protecting your tax dollars, but protecting your rights as citizens and your quality of life. So we don't act, we always act judiciously, and so we're not going to make decisions when we don't have full and complete information. And I do want to say that if the referendum was ever about the voice of the people, we would have already had a vote this past March. We had a citizens petition demanding a vote, and these council members voted against giving you that chance to vote for or against this use of land. So here we are. And we'll just deal with it. We'll move forward in the best capacity we can, the best way we can, and we're not going to make rash decisions without full and complete information, which is why we're not making a decision tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Whitehead. And the reason I called the question is because I know that Councilman Graham is entitled to his day. We know what it feels like to not be able to speak, coming from experience, on our first meeting. And so I sympathize with that, and while I'm glad that Councilman Graham said his piece, it couldn't have distorted this situation any further. Well, I'm just going to speak to Councilman Graham. And that couldn't have distorted the scenario any further than he just did. We had a very long executive session discussion, which is confidential and shall not be repeated. As I opened by saying, this is the fact of this my motion, and I will let Councilwoman Whitehead speak to her fact for seconding it, and anyone else that votes for it on their own. there were too many unanswered questions on the next steps, many options. I was not prepared to say commit to direction, and that's it. So this story is not over, unfortunately. And for now, we're not going to make a decision on this agenda item. So with that, I will ask for Vice Mayor DeBoscus.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. One thing that has been left unsaid so far tonight is that we value Axon. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for conducting business in the city of Scottsdale. We appreciate you. We value the tools that you bring to our community and to the world, and we hope to retain your business here in the city of Scottsdale. In my view, this vote is about SB 1543. It is not about our relationship with Axon. And to that point, I stand ready to fight for the citizens of Scottsdale right here, right now, tonight, and I hope my colleagues join me. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor DeBoscus. Excellent point. However, this isn't a vote either way at this point, unfortunately. Too many unanswered questions, and I'll call for a vote.